Welcome to another edition of Smart Chat, and do want to do kind of 2018 for my own personal year-end wrestling awards. Shall we do it? All right, let's go. Rising Star for 2018. For me, Velveteen Dream. When Velveteen Dream made his NXT debut, it was easy to dismiss the newcomer as kind of a cheap Prince knockoff. However, once fans saw his impressive athleticism, they began warming up to the character to the point where the Dream is now one of the most popular wrestlers on the black and yellow brown brand, and it seems only a matter of time before he's turning heads on Raw or SmackDown Live. Rising Star for 2018. Becky Lynch, Hangman Page, Tommaso Ciampa, all kind of are up there for me as well. Tag Team of the Year 2018, Undisputed Era. Shock the System is Undisputed Era's entrance music. And as that entrance music begins, it certainly was a shock to the system when at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, when Roderick Strong turned on his partner Pete Dunne during the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and joined the group. Strong became Kyle O'Reilly's tag team partner, and the duo would hold the NXT tag team titles for most of 2018, turning back the challenge of all top contenders, and in the process being my Tag Team of the Year. Usos, Young Bucks, up there as well for me. Any moment of the year has to be All In. Cody Rhodes has a history of betting on himself. After all, he did it back in 2016 when he asked the WWE for his release to venture onto the independent circuit. But when noted wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer said on Twitter that no independent company could ever put 10,000 people in an arena, Cody Rhodes decided to prove him wrong. With the help of the Young Bucks, the trio announced an event called All In that would take place in Chicago, September 1st of 2018, featuring many of the top stars of the independent scene and featuring Cody challenging Nick Aldis for the famed 10 pounds of gold. Yes, the same NWA World Championship held by his late father, Dusty. The event sold out the 10,000 seat Sears Center in less than 30 minutes, it was said. And it was a kind of a mention, kind of foreshadow of things to come. Cody winning the NWA title. Chris Jericho Cruz is another indie moment of the year. For me anyway. The face of the year for the majority of 2018, AJ Styles faced all comers as he defended his WWE Championship on SmackDown Live. He started the year by defeating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match at the Royal Rumble, then defeated Royal Rumble match winner Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania in a dream match that shockingly saw Nakamura turn heel by striking Styles with a low blow after the match. Styles successfully defeated Nakamura in a subsequent feud, culminating in a last standing match. From there on, Styles beat the likes of Samoa Joe, Rusev, and many other before losing it in shocking fashion to Daniel Bryan. All the while, he was clearly the fans' favorite. Best in the Ring for the third straight year, AJ Styles. And me, Best in Ring winner. Is there anyone the question has to be asked? Is there anyone Styles cannot have a good match with? Worst pay-per-view of the year for me was the Crown Jewel. In early 2018, WWE announced a partnership with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to bring several shows to the country. The first, Greatest Royal Rumble, took place in April, and the next one, Crown Jewel, was set for November. In the weeks preceding the show, however, an American journalist was killed in the country, prompting many to call on WWE to cancel the event. But to the surprise of absolutely no one, WWE chose to go forward with the show, even with top stars John Cena and Daniel Bryan announcing they would not participate. Even with the reunion of DX and the crowning of Brock Lesnar once again as Universal Champion, the show was, by and large, forgettable. To me, the worst pay-per-view of the year. The best pay-per-view of the year was War Games NXT TakeOver. NXT TakeOver events that take place the day before WWE pay-per-views have surpassed, I think, you might say, the main roster shows in terms of quality. And 2018 was no exception, as NXT TakeOver War Games 2, to me, is the best pay-per-view of the year. You saw the unscheduled match between new NXT signing Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno. That Riddle won in record time. Next came a 2 out of 3 falls match for the women's NXT title. That saw Shayna Baszler defeat Gary Sane with the help from her 4 Horsewoman friends to retain. After that, you got 2 outstanding matches between Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and the NXT title match between Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa before the War Games match itself, which saw Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders victorious over the 4 members of the Undisputed Era. Best promos have to go, to me, Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa began 2018 still recovering from knee surgery. But while his in-ring participation was limited, his promo work was definitely not. His feud with Johnny Gargano saw his obsession with his former best friend come to the forefront, which was showcased in several video camera style promos where it seemed that Ciampa was in a remote part of the building with just a video camera and his thoughts. These continued after his shocking NXT title victory, where his obsession turned to his title belt that he began referring to as Goldie. And Ciampa elevated his promo game to me in 2018. The WTF moment for me for 2018 was Survivor Series. No secret, right, that Vince McMahon has always treated WWE Raw as quote-unquote the flagship show of his brand. After all, the show has been on for 25 years and synonymous with the Attitude Era. But in 2018, it was announced that SmackDown Live would be moving to the Fox network after signing a huge deal for broadcast rights. So at Survivor Series, you would think this would be a big opportunity for WWE to showcase the Blue brand at one of the company's traditional pay-per-views. And you'd be wrong. After SmackDown won the interpromotional tag team match during the kickoff show, they lost every other match on the main card. And to make matters worse, there was no storyline follow-up to it. Survivor Series happened. Then the shows went on as usual. A definite WTF moment, if there ever was one. Most improved. To me, Becky Lynch. So how does Becky Lynch a woman who has long been considered one of the best wrestlers in the business become, would you consider her improved? By increasing her already high level of ring work and cutting the best promos of her career, she used her newfound attitude to catapult herself to greater success. And that's why she's, to me, the most improved wrestler. Hangman Page, Velveteen Dream, up there as well. Heel of the Year, Tommaso Ciampa. When you break your crutches across the back of your former best friend on multiple occasions because you aren't cleared to wrestle him yet, and relish in the fact that you got him fired, chances are that you're going to be in the running for Heel of the Year. And Tommaso Ciampa has earned more of that, more than earned those honors in 2018. Once he was cleared to return, Ciampa and Gargano competed in some epic wars, culminating with Ciampa defending his newly won NXT title at TakeOver Brooklyn 4 in a last man standing match. All the while, he played mind games with the fan favorites and defeated those he faced by any means necessary, which is the reason why he is my choice for Heel of the Year for 2018. Match of the Year for me. Gargano versus Ciampa. Unsanctioned match. At NXT TakeOver New Orleans, best friends turned bitter rivals Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano faced off in an unsanctioned match, with the stipulation that if Ciampa won, Gargano outdoors would never again be able to compete in NXT. The two battled in and out of the ring, brutalizing each other with whatever they could get their hands on. In the end, Ciampa tried to convince Johnny he was sorry, and fans thought that maybe he succeeded because, oddly enough, Gargano sat Indian style in the ring next to his former friend in a callback to their encounter during the Cruiserweight Classic. But when Ciampa tried to attack, Gargano was ready. He used Tommaso's own knee brace for added leverage on a cross-face maneuver, and Ciampa tapped out, and Johnny Wrestling celebrated his reinstatement with his wife Candice LeRae as the night ended. Feud of the Year. Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. There's an old saying in the wrestling business: good friends, better enemies. And that was clearly my choice. It's kind of unanimous for me for 2018. Gargano versus Ciampa. Ciampa shocked the NXT fan base when he returned from his knee injury at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia by attacking Gargano after his loss to Almas. Then, again, when he seemingly cost him his career in the rematch with Almas. This led to an unsanctioned match with Gargano's reinstatement on the line, and Johnny Wrestling emerged victorious, but the war was not over. They met again in Chicago, in the Chicago street fight. This time Ciampa got the victory. The third match of the trilogy was a last man standing match, this time for the NXT title, which saw Ciampa survive and retain. Not to mention the various times the two fought each other just because they could. Up there with me for me, which couldn't make honorable mention, was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, and Chris Jericho versus Naito. To me, the wrestler of the year, Tommaso Ciampa. He avenged his loss to Johnny Gargano in New Orleans by being victorious in the Chicago Street Fight. Ciampa decided to challenge NXT champion Aleister Black to a title match. Ciampa boasted, remember, that he only needed one opportunity to claim the gold. Thanks to an errant belt shot from Johnny to Black, he was right. When Black was injured and unable to invoke his rematch clause, Ciampa would face Gargano one more time in a last man standing match in NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, and Ciampa was victorious in stunning fashion. Ciampa went on to defend his title against Velveteen Dream, NXT TakeOver War Games 2 in a classic matchup. And while it's yet to be seen if Ciampa is in fact the greatest sports entertainer of all time, as he claimed he is the greatest in 2018. To me, my opinion, 2018, he was the greatest. Just some of my personal wrestling awards for 2018. Hope all is well.